Fantastic. Welcome back to another episode of On the Couch with Franz. Today, a very, very exciting band. I've been wanting them on the couch for quite some time, but I'll shut up and let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I am Rulov. I play drums for Acid Magus.
Hey, I'm Jared. I play bass for Acid Magus.
Yeah, so we are Acid Magus to start with. And I'm Keenan. I play the guitars in Acid Magus.
And I'm Chris. I sing vocals. I play vocals.
You play vocals and drums for a different band. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, first and foremost, thank you so very much for coming all the way from Pretoria. Was it a scenic and a nice drive?
Lovely drive, thank you. We're stoked to be here.
Mountains.
We're almost in Durban, we just realized.
Now, first and foremost, what kind of genre do you box yourself into a genre for your music? Can Keenan, perhaps you can just elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll kick off on that one. So, I think it's important to start with a genre when you're trying to explain to people what your music is about. And for us, a lot of people, we start with the stoner rock side of things, and we're also involved in the garage psychedelic rock. We like to think we kind of mix those two genres together reasonably okay, I hope. And that being said, though, I don't think anything should be pigeonholed in a genre. And I think our music, while starting there, actually transcends those genres somewhat. And we go all the way into the heavy metal side or even the core stuff, but really small, but it's there. It's just because we're influenced by so much different kinds of music, which is the fun part about it. I don't know if you have anything to add on that one.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, yeah, because I came in last in the band, and there was already like a couple of songs written and stuff. So like, that's basically the stoner metal-y stuff and the psych stuff, and a little bit of alternative influence. That just like slightly sets it apart, I think.
Oh, you came in late in the band to play vocals, as he and always want to do like alternative rock stuff and shorten the songs and yeah.
Okay. Any other bands that you guys played before? Is Acid Magus? I'm pronouncing that correctly, right? Yeah. Acid Magus.
100%.
Okay.
Some people say Magus, which is fine, but we say Acid Magus. That's how we pronounce
But I
it.
literally checked on Google. The pronunciation is Magus, like Las Vegas. So yeah,
Viva Acid Magus.
So in between playing vocals, Chris is a Google guy. He's checking out his own band name. Do you want to add to that?
No. Well, he asked if we played in previous bands.
Yeah.
I actually started playing drums when I played for like 8 months before Keenan invited me over to his place.
Okay.
And luckily, or unluckily, I was unemployed. So
That
I
is
had
bittersweet being unemployed.
lockdown. I just played drums for like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think Keenan and Jared have been playing a long time together though.
So before you let the mic go, Roloff, how long in total have you been drumming now?
This year would be my 4th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
End of the year would be 4 years. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Trying to punt myself.
You have to, man. You have to. Fantastic. Jared, how about you, man?
No bands previously. Well, not in a while. But Keenan and I have been making a lot of music for 12 years, I'd say.
So quite versed.
Yeah, and everything and anything. Like we we had some electronic, indie stuff going on. So yeah, I mean, it was always between him and I was like, if we were gonna start a band, I was always gonna be like, well, Keenan, you want to play guitar for me, and I actually have a project that I was doing that's not really a band, but he helped me with the guitars. So
You're allowed to plug if you want to.
nah, it's nothing right now, so don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thanks, man.
Chris has actually been in all kinds of bands. and he's still stuck with us. So that obviously didn't go well.
It says a lot. I think it says a
I'm
lot.
just joking.
A lot of failures.
Tell us about your other projects. Did you play vocals in those?
Yeah, like some backing vocals. Yeah. Yeah, like most recently I was in a band called Apocalypse Later, actually with Trev and Andy from Caution Boy. And that fizzled out in the lockdown. That was a casualty of the lockdown. And oh yes, yeah. Now quickly plug those since we don't bring our own CDs and stuff. We just quickly give a shout out to Andy and Caution Boy and everybody. And I was playing guitar with Evert for a while, Evert Snyman. And yeah, shout out to you. And then I also play drums for Rough Magic now. So yeah, so just the two bands now, Rough Magic and Acid Magus. That's it. Now there's other ones. There's like earlier ones, but yeah, they're a bit like they're a bit long ago. I don't know if it's relevant for. Oh yeah, the Anti-Retro Vinyls. That was awesome.
Anti-Retro Vinyls.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. I played drums with them, and they in another band now called the Medicine Dolls in Cape Town. Yeah, still making awesome music. Yeah.
You were in Medicine.
You jammed with Greg.
Yeah, Greg, the singer from Medicine Dolls.
Oh,
was in-
okay.
Yeah, he fronted.
Great
the
band, Medicine Dolls.
Yeah,
Check 'em out.
love them, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They recently, was it in mid 2021? I think they did that cover of Talking Heads as Psych
Yeah.
Killer. Wow,
Very nicely
very
done.
very nice. Now with vocals, drums, how do those two get together with you, Chris?
Like I actually started off on piano.
An instrument other than
Yeah,
his voice.
well, piano you get a little bit of everything, man. You get your left hand's your bass, right hand's your melody stuff. So yeah, you get a bit of everything, and it's percussive as well. And then there was guitar. Yeah, and then my older brother was playing drums, and I just like sort of piggybacked on his lessons. I went and took my guitar along and played, and then last 5 minutes of his lesson, I would just like mess around and sort of steal his lesson a little bit. Yeah, and then the vocals was that was a product of lockdown completely. I never sang. I did backup vocals in a band. I was never really like considered myself like a singer like frontman. But then just like started like really like there was like lots of downtime and just like started singing a whole bunch. And it's like everything else, it gets better over time. Well, I hope so. Good enough for these dudes to keep me in the band.
It is, man. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that you guys are out here on the couch in my home studio. I absolutely adore the band. It's fantastic music, and I'm just burning to ask, where the fuck did you guys come from?
Oh,
Like
yeah, Keenan-
one day
Keenan-
there was no Acid Magus,
Stones.
and the next day it just blew up.
Well, it's a good question because you're right. It just happened. So for us, the actual story, I was in another project just before hard lockdown came about, and started jamming some. I wanted to do more of a like garagey rock kind of sounding thing, more guitar focused. Because in this other band, we were playing more of a groove orientated thing, revolving around the bass and drums. And I was playing drums in that band, and I hate playing drums. So started writing some tunes. There's some cool riffs and things like that. Hooked old Rulof here in, the new drummer at the time. He's now been drumming. This will be his 4th year, which means
This one leading up to the end of 2022.
which means he's been drumming for 3 years. So call a spade, damn it. So roped him in, and we started fleshing out these songs, just jamming them there at my place. It's not even as cool as your studio. Like,
Oh, thanks,
it's
man.
really crappy studio, and it started to come on, like the songs, fleshed out and started sounding good and that. And then I was like, okay, well, now we need a bassist because this stuff needs fat groove to hold down these songs. And because, as we said earlier, Jared and I have been making music for the longest time, music that probably him and I, our significant others, maybe our mothers have heard. Still cool shit. Like, I've played it for people before and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool, it's the electro pop thing. But it was fun to do, and it taught us a lot about production, because Jared's also always been pretty involved in production, the mixing side of things and producing. And then after he came in, we hadn't played a show. No one really knew about this. We didn't really have a name yet. We didn't, there were no plans. It was just jamming and having fun. We were digging the tunes. Then I wrote Fear and the Lizard People of Pretoria was our first single. And I still remember sending it to the guys and we were like, should we put this out? Should we? Because at the time we were releasing our own stuff and, and they were like, yeah, this is great. I've never had that kind of confidence, so it was tough. But we put it out, and to like the, 25 people that heard it, they were stoked, So we kind of got this inkling like maybe we're doing something kind of cool, but we still weren't repping it. We weren't punting it on social media. We weren't going through the missions. Then we put out another single. And Driekus from Rough Magic, who's friends with Rulof and also Chris, caught wind of it and really enjoyed the stuff. He shared the odd song. And then we dropped a single for Psychonaut 1400, which is before Chris was even around yet. I was still recording the vocals, begrudgingly so. It's like listening to someone...
Sounded great.
Chalk. For me to listen to it.
I think it's part of the reason why you're on.
I'm fishing for compliments, clearly. I've been playing vocals for 4 years this year. So after that happened, once again, Driekus shared it. Johnny. Forget that. And then Warren got wind of it from Mongrel Records. And he got in contact and he's like, I really like the song. I want to add it to the New Fangs compilation. Are you guys planning an album? And at the time, we weren't. So once again, this all contributes to this whole kind of out of nowhere is nothing was being pushed to that point, although we'd kind of built a bit of a catalog and put some things together. I think another thing that helped us is that we produce, mix, essentially do everything ourselves. So it was all done and just sitting there waiting to come out. And then we decided to do the album because of Warren. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have done
Warren.
it. Yeah, thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.
I don't know. We owe that guy a lot, actually. And I recorded the vocals on that. Hated it more than anything, even though I've been playing vocals for 4th year. And then we decided we need a vocalist. And then
you went and found a drummer and a guitarist that doesn't sing.
Yeah, so...
to be your vocalist.
Exactly. So we went and found the best pianist we could find. Lo and behold, it was this guy. But actually, and I know I'm rambling now, I'll be done soon, is Rulof had a party.
Yes.
Before, that's when that's when I met Chris. That's when I met Chris. He had a party at a studio, a whole bunch of guys like Andy and Trevor also there from Caution Boy. And
it was about 8 of us. Yeah,
there were a bunch of dudes. And we all got into the studio, so we had beers and chilled out and stuff and hit the studio. And then hit the studio and just like everyone's plugged in and jamming, like 9 guitars and 8 basses and there's one drummer. Obviously, 'cause that's the one thing. There are no drummers. Drummers don't exist. It's a fucking false. It's a lie. And Chris was there screaming like this bat out of hell, and we were like, we have to have this guy in the band. Well, we need to give it a shot. And then we got him in. Really average jam session that first time.
The first audition was shit. We recorded it as well, so we know from posterity. Well, we know from the past that it was quite shocking. I remember Keenan was like, so how do you think that went? And I was like, pretty, yeah. And then after everybody left, I saw and heard the ball screeches and the bum notes and stuff. The screams were good though. I stand by those screams. And then but it was just enough to crawl through to a second rehearsal audition thing, and that one went better. And then the first actual practice, I think things started to come together nicely. Yeah, but I'm flipping happy, man, because if there wasn't 8 people at that party that we were at, normally I would just revert to guitar or bass or drums or something. Yeah, so I was pretty happy that all the spots were taken. It was only the mic that was left there.
Yeah, I mean, we still sent him. I sent him the video of that first jam with like a list of. This was shit. This was shit. This was shit. This was amazing. Really cool. Keep doing that, man. This is why we cannot do this again. It's because of this thing. But this is gug. This is gug. This is gug. And
that's still our shit.
and that's the other cool thing about this is from then already we've all had that kind of approach to this. Is straight. This is not cool. Cool. Let's move on from it. This is great. Let's focus on that. No, but I can't get like that sometimes, but. I think there's a bunch of stuff that wouldn't have been on the album, or would have been on the album if not for Jared and Rulof's input. Because, yeah, it could have been an entirely different beast. We might not be sitting here right now.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That's fantastic. So we've got Rulof on drums, you got you on guitar, Keenan, and then we've got Chris playing the vocals, and Jared on bass. Do you mind if I just ask Jared to grab that microphone real quick? Jared, in my opinion, best bass tone in the industry. Dude, how do you how do you get that sound out of your bass, man? What's your setup?
Okay, firstly, on the recordings, that's pretty much his sound coming. He's got a Mac bass. It's a Mark bass head. That I mean, I use that playing live as well, which is. It's so.
Man, it is. Check it out. If you got any live videos, we'll put the links below.
No, for sure. I mean, so in the recordings, he's got a Fender, what's that? A Fender Jazz, going through the Mark bass head, which is pretty nice. When I play live, we had a big chat about it, trying to make sure that I had a specific sound. And like I went out and chose the right pedals, and we made sure that the Mark bass. And I don't like to use. I've got a 5-string. We wrote got one song on that album that I have to use a 5-string.
Okay.
I don't like to, but that bass is just the shit. So it's a Yamaha TRB. And the tone on that thing, it's an active bass, so the pickups are just beautiful. And when it goes through that head, it's just like that Yamaha and that Mark bass head. It's just like it's the perfect sound.
It's fantastic, man.
So,
I absolutely
yeah.
love it.
So, yeah.
Keenan, I spoke to you that night at the not the Acid Magus, the Caution Boy album launch, man, and we were talking about the bass tone, and it was just fucking spot on, man. Thanks. Appreciate that. So, Rudolph, sorry, man, go on. Whatever you were gonna say, I don't know.
I kind of forgot.
Tell us more about your social media presence.
What presence?
Well, that you are our social media presence.
Those posts.
Well, Keenan did it initially, but Keenan, he's...
Imploded.
Yeah, Keenan has done most of it. I think he didn't want to say it, but this is very much Keenan's love child, brainchild.
Right.
And for now, but it gave us all the opportunity to like jump on, and because when we heard it, we all realized like this is hot shit.
Yeah.
And it was cool to have that opportunity and be like, we can get behind this and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really stoked for the future. Also having Chris on board, like he's only singing now, but the next tracks that Keenan has started working on, second guitar. Chris can do piano, synth, maybe 2 drums one day. We've been joking about that. Like I'm just saying we've got all this potential, and I think that's what's really cool about what's going on here is that we all saw the potential, and now the ceiling is not even there.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. And with the little time that's passed, when did Weird Sister, the debut album, when did that drop?
I think it was July.
July?
Yeah, 30 July
Yeah.
2021.
I mean, the response and the international reach that you guys have gotten so far, and at the time of recording, we are on the 5th of February today. It is just amazing to see guys having fun together and happy accidents. I mean, if it wasn't for the amount of musicians that was there in the jam room, you wouldn't have been sitting here today, perhaps. So it's a bunch of very happy coincidences. Other than coincidence, I mean, Keenan, you write most of the music, if not all. What's the process of sending it on to each member? You know, and how much do you allow for, say, Rulof to change the drum pattern or the idea of the drums, etc.?
It's a good question. I was actually there's this guy on Twitter that I follow that talks about these kinds of things, and he actually says, and he makes a good point, I think, that in most bands, one or two people are usually the lead songwriters. So I don't think it's something that's unique to us. And also, to me, it's very important that we identify as a band. Just wanted to say that. Because everyone here has an input. Especially to start off with, it's just easier. I have all the stuff there at home. It lets us, it's good, quick workflow. You know, to just get some material out and get this thing going. But these guys have a lot to say on everything. So coming to your question now. Essentially what happens is I track instrumentals at home, and then essentially a complete instrumental of what I think is the song.
Right.
And then we have our WhatsApp group, and it goes on there, and then they all listen to it and provide feedback. And sometimes it's, this is great, sometimes it's, this needs to change, this can't be like this, or, you know, and you have to, because like I say, we are still a band. I can't sit there and go, well, screw you, no, I'm not going to change that, I like it, I think it's the best. The other thing is, I'm not objective at that point, you know, I need their opinions. And they have great musical knowledge, expertise, you know, and technical experience. So to hear their opinions, it usually ends up, well, as we see now with Weird Sister, it's the better result. Now, on the new stuff, what's happening is I'm also sending the instrumentals to Jared to sit with, to look at any additional production factors, apart from any potential structural changes that he thinks might be valuable, but also to maybe add some ambient synth kind of, you know, pads or something,
Right.
if it suits, you know, especially because he's listening from an outsider's perspective. He might have a great idea and it sticks and it sounds great, and we'll go with it, we'll run with it, even if we aren't going to do it live, especially ambient stuff. I feel that to complete the artistic package of a production, to have some pads or some ambient stuff to flesh it out, just, you know, give it that full feeling. I don't see it as a cop-out to not do it live. It's not now this whole, it's a clean recording, but you actually cock live, you know, it's a, yeah. So going forward, that's that. Rulof's going to get a bit more stuck into the drumming. So I track the drums, and then he comes with changes. But going forward, we want to get to a point where he's actually re-recording the drums himself. And then with Chris, at least on Weird Sister, we'll see how it will go now forward. But on Weird Sister, I'd already written all the lyrics and vocal melodies. I gave everything to Chris with me singing on it so you can hear the melodies. And yeah, I was playing vocals hard on that shit. And then let me talk about my vocal tone for a second. So, and then Chris, I told him at the time, I said, here's the lyrics, here's the melodies, here's the songs with me singing on it, so you can hear the structure and how I think it should sound. But if you want to chop and change it to something else that you think might be better, by all means go for it. I'm not laying claim to this as how it should be.
Yeah.
And we will then, if we need to, we'll even rewrite the lyrics to suit and all the rest. But he listened, he read through everything, and he's like, can dig it the most. I play vocals hard, don't care. I'm recording that exactly as it is. Which was actually really cool, because to actually go and rewrite the vocals now would have been a ball ache at that stage in the game. But I was willing to do it, you know, because like I said, we are a band at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much our process. And Chris's vocals, we smashed that out. I think it was like 2 Saturdays. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so
and it's big vocals, man. It's you really play them.
Yeah, like no, but like I just like sat here and reflected a bit. Like I do actually play it, like, because I go through like there's a lot of like effects on it and stuff, you know, because I don't like consider myself like the best singer. I can hit notes and things, and so yeah, thank you. Keenan agrees. Yeah, so I thought of it more like playing guitar with the face, you know, just like getting yeah, getting the right sounds out of it, like, is was more important. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, but like Keenan's like the stuff that was there was really good and like really usable already. But like you could hear he was not like super amped to be doing the vocals because like there was so many spaces where like there should be vocals there, should maybe just be like a la 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 or like a little scream there or something. Yeah, yeah, but it was fun to do.
No, and I mean, over and above that, I didn't write in any of those harmonies that you hear there. That was all Chris. Those were his ideas. Now that's the pianist in him coming out, you know, and being like, and also musical knowledge. I mean, he's the only one who studied music to some degree. We are all fake it till you make it kind of dudes, you know. Like even my solos are wonky at best. But anyway, that was all Chris. So that, I mean, that was his contribution. Everyone actually had a contribution here at the end of the day. And going forward, it's going to become more and more inclusive. Just all depends on, for now, we're trying to focus on getting as much material out as possible. In albums, not singles, in albums.
Okay. Ooh,
So-
tell us more about that, because that's quite contrary to what most of the people on the couch says.
Yeah, so when Warren watches this, he's probably going to fall off his chair. But we'll get to this conversation. But I don't know if I want to do any singles for the next album. I just want to drop an album. I know that's PR suicide. Like, I totally get that.
I don't want logos on the
Yeah, I hate logos and I hate anyway, because especially with this, and I wanted the same for Weird Sister, but Weird Sister in the end became a bit more cut up. I mean, for example, the songs Weird Sister and Rituals, which are track 1 and 2, were one song.
Okay.
They were actually one, that was literally joined right there where it split. Yeah.
You guys are known for having quite a long set. Well, songs in your set. Play 5 and it's 3-hour set.
Yeah.
You know?
We were just talking about it tonight. Like, I mean, we're playing what, six songs, 45-minute set. Yeah, it's not, don't really get that much lately.
But you know, it's worth every minute of that, and that's just my personal opinion. And
Thank you.
thousands of people out there also. But you don't get bored of the tracks when you started, like Red Dawn that was on just before. We'll get back to that music video in a little bit. That music video has been chopped from the album length. And I was sent the original masters, which it was still just over 8 minutes long. You know, how do you shorten it without taking that creative juice out of it? Because there was obviously a reason that there was that big gap at the end, and it confuses the shit out of my listeners on BurgStudio. It's like, song is done. Blackbone Nation did a very similar thing with a few years back with I forget the name of the album now, but nonetheless. Tell us about that spacing.
Yeah, so on that song specifically, Red Dawn, so there was the album version. Then we did a shortened version for the single, which we did because we thought that was going to go with the video. But then they wanted the video song to be even shorter, so we cut it further. And the reason that is Tiger and Lilly Productions, who shot the video.
Links in the description below.
That's
you have
it.
to send it to me.
Don't be scared. And don't forget about Caution Boy. Will there be a link for that?
Absolutely, man.
Awesome. So they wanted it shorter because for their idea, the concept for the video required that there are subtle changes in what's actually happening to carry the narrative. And if it was too long, they felt that it would just start to lose in this case, the watcher, not the listener.
Yeah.
So that's why we had to cut it short. And essentially all I really did there is, so I like this long pandering crap that just repeats forever, and then it dies and it's silent for like what's in eternity, and then it's just this huge, crescendo of noise, and then that fades out for another 8 minutes and it's finished, It's actually pretty lazy production because it's just repeating shit.
Yeah, but bands do that stuff live all the time, like meandering jams, and like Rough Magic does it a lot, and like any band that can jam. No. It's coming on after it, story. No, but so like it's just the little bit strange on album, but like also it's like Tool has like 10 and 20-minute songs and stuff as well.
But even Dream Theater, and I would still rather sit through a Acid Magus song than Dream Theater song.
Well, Dream Theater has that little Chinese girl that plays bass in it.
Mr. John Myung. Jared, are you a fan of John Myung?
His bass is great.
He's a fantastic bassist.
No, fuck.
And
I
he's
mean,
here.
he is. Listen, that I'm not gonna. Anyway,
Inspirations. Who inspires you to do bass? And
to do bass. Funny enough, I got into playing bass because of Bush.
okay,
Yeah,
great band.
love them.
Hot lead vocalist. That guy's smoking.
Yeah, and he
he's
plays it so
great.
hard.
Gavin Ross. Yeah, he's a great vocal player.
But yeah, started out with Bush. And actually, funny enough, I was I had a bass teacher, this guy, big guy, who was a session musician, played with a lot of big Afrikaans bands, but essentially he had this like 6-string custom Yamaha that had like gold plated pickups and all this kind of stuff, and it was just like, wow, okay, and he was always pushing me to play all this crazy stuff. So I didn't even look at too many other people. I just like focused on him because he was really insane. But essentially, when I went away from that, going into high school, I mean, I think we can all say bands like Mastodon, specifically when we were doing, Keenan and I were writing a few songs. I can do a bit of a low screaming thing, and because of Mastodon, Troy Sanders that's what I sort of, I just took into that. So I think if anything, because of our genre, he's the one to go for.
Just quickly, and that's another thing to keep in mind. Jared's also got, like you said, that kind of Troy Sanders-y vocal, that low growl. That might feature at some point. We're gonna write that shit in.
It's funny because we actually had 1 or 2 of our first songs. I did the vocals on there. We released one and then deleted it, but yeah.
Okay. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it sometime in the future. Sometime.
Sure.
Later today. Guys, Rudolph, again, let's pass the mic on to you. When you introduce yourself, do you say Rudolph or Rudolph?
This is the story of my life. At this point, I'm just exhausted. I don't even correct people anymore. But my name is Rudolph with an L.
Yeah.
The
My
Afrikaans
brother's
version.
name is Rudolph, but he introduces himself as Rudolph. Of course, he gets cut full of people
I say
mispronouncing it.
Yeah. I say Rudolph, but if I don't correct people,
Oh, okay.
I just leave it up to them to get embarrassed 5 months later.
Oh, his name's Rudolph.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, with the creative input other than the music, right? Who has the creative juices flowing? I mean, we look behind me at stuff like artwork. Who designs your artwork? Like logos. I know, Keenan, you don't like logos on things, like Volcom on your shirt, because it's.
but that's a scam, bro.
Okay. Tell us more about this before we get to Red Dawn's music video, and I want to culminate with that.
So, I forget, was it the album? No, it was before the album. It was one of the songs we released, and this guy, Tyrone Roux-Atterbury, heard it online, and he messaged us and was like, this music is dope. I'd love to do some artwork for you. And we checked out his... Yeah, and we were busy writing an album, and we checked out his Instagram page. He's got like 200k followers as well.
Wow.
And
I'll ask him to link this in his description. Okay.
you should. And he hand draws this stuff. It's not like digital or grid.
Wow.
It's like he sits there for hours goes through like 20 pens and does it all by hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, he did Everett's name on a new album.
I was
cover as well.
gonna ask Ifrit about that.
Yeah,
for
same
what's
guy.
the new album? Yeah, that is. It's difficult with recording versus publishing, but that's out 1st April 2022. Yeah.
And yeah, and we had a concept of Weird Sister. We're not like overtly political or trying to make a statement, but there is a message and some substance if you're looking for it. It's not the first thing that we're pushing. And we had the concept of Weird Sister, and with all the Me Too movement and what women have gone through for millennia, we just wanted to say that we resonate, we feel you, and yeah. That was
fantastic. Man.
picture
Wow.
The artwork itself was when I was chatting to Tyrone, I came across this picture of I think it was some other band's art, some obscure band came across this thing on Instagram, and they also had like it was kind of a bunch of young ladies in a circle and one in the center. Oh no, there was like a big red circle in the center that they were all touching kind of thing.
Okay.
And I sent that to Tyrone. And well, I first chatted to the guys about that idea. And I was thinking that, but we have a woman floating in the middle, and kind of like a pagan ritual, if you will. And we sent that idea to Tyrone. He's like, I pick up what you put down right now, 110%. And he went straight to work sketching this thing out. And like within a day or two, he had just a rough sketch. This is what I'm thinking. And we were like, go for it, dude. Like, just do that. Do it.
Fantastic.
So it was actually pretty seamless, pretty easy, you know, for such a cool
Something
thing.
is just right. There's that pagan rituals going on behind me. Because the first time I saw the artwork, I thought
All the blood
of,
sacrifices, dude.
I thought of the Witches of Salem doing some chanting kind of vibe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now you mentioned the paganism or the pagan aspect behind it. And,
Exactly.
you know, maybe there's some darker forces at bay, you know, that's
Possibly.
helping you along. Huh?
No, that Cronin creature is looking out for us.
Great stuff. Thanks.
We have actually. There's been a lot of luck in this band. We all keep saying to each other, like, when is this bubble gonna burst, man? Like, when's it gonna?
Just ride it, man. Just ride it.
Yeah, well,
It's
we
like
are.
it's floating.
We are, and we think the new stuff is gonna blow this out of the water. So
That is.
we hope, but we'll see.
It'll happen. It'll happen. Guys, with Tiger and Lilly, that is. You related to them, so I think maybe you can tell us more about it, Rolof.
Yeah, they're my two sisters, my older and younger sister, Julian and Susan. They've got their own small production company. And yeah, we had a location and we had an idea. And I'm trying to remember also where the dresses came up. I think we were just shooting shit about costumes on stage.
You sent us a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, I was like joking about it, like let's wear these wacko costumes, and then they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, let me think about this a bit. And then I found this high haute couture fashion man dress thing with like the sleeveless long thing, had a bit of like a techno goth vibe to it.
Right. Yeah.
Cyberpunk, and we were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And my girlfriend Katya actually was like, you have to do this, and she was nice enough to like front the money for the dresses, and we got our other good friend Nina Badenhorst to make them for us. She measured us up, and yeah, we did it. So when I told my sisters, we've got this location, we've got these dresses, and we've got this song, they also were just like inspired, I guess is the
And
word.
then it just fell in place, because if you go check out the music video, link below, it's fantastic. It's mind blowing, and I was waiting for it for quite some time, because these bastards wouldn't share it with me like most other bands do. I wouldn't put it out or anything, but okay. So the creative idea behind, I mean, you at the location, which is an old shooting range in a sex dungeon, and like, where does that stem from? And is it the kind of thing that you're into, Keenan?
Are you talking about sex dungeoning?
Yes.
I'm an avid sex dungeoner. It's actually where we do our blood sacrificing. No, it's once again, it's this randomness lining up for some weird. Like we also, like I said, we don't understand this ourselves, but it's my in-laws' house. They've always had this space under the house. It is an old shooting range, so it's this long concrete room. Yeah, it's a shooting. It's for those who want to, box kit and stuff there in the. Anyway, so
Yeah, shoot some bucks under a house in a single lane shooting alley.
also when we walked in there the first time, because it's really dark and stuff, and my wife's uncle he had like a hydroponic setup in there previously, so there was this kind of this lights rack hanging from chains from the roof, but with nothing underneath it, just like there in the dark. So it really did look like a sex dungeon when we walked in there, like that was the swing or
Did
something.
it smell like it?
in my experience with sex dungeons,
It was very damp.
it was damp. But yeah, shooting range. Like I said, the space has always been there. Like previously, I actually wanted to see if I could turn it into a studio for us or something. So when we were considering doing the video, we were thinking, shit, well, where can we shoot this thing? And almost was one of the first things I said, guys, there's this space. And then if we can make it work, let's do something dark with lights and things in this space. Fuck it, it'll be cool.
Okay.
And then luckily, Susanna Lillian from Tiger and Lilly got involved because they took that basic idea. Like if we shot it with our phone cameras, it wouldn't have been anywhere close to what they pulled off. They really conceptualized, lit it up. It was amazing. Yeah.
So the theme of hell in the dungeon, right? Obviously, a lot of Red Dawn. Who came up with the lighting setup? Was it also Tiger and Lilly?
It was them. It's just a logical and obvious way to go red. But we actually picked Red Dawn because a lot of our songs start slow and they build up and they crescendo. And we knew with goldfish attention spans that people have these days, we need something that comes out hard out of the blocks. And Red Dawn in the beginning has that offbeat intro with the guitar and it goes straight into that thumping groove. So we were like, this will catch people's attention. And then when it goes into those long breakdowns, we hopefully can keep them going instead of them losing attention in like the first 10 seconds because it's, slow to start. But the dungeon thing, it was, my sisters always said, if you've got a great location, we can make it work. It's all about location.
Yeah.
So they just got really stoked as soon as we put on our man dresses. They put a light up. They saw what it looked like. We're all pretty tall, which they said was perfect.
No. They're not pretty tall. They're freaking tall. I truly look like a little person. I don't know what the politically correct term for that is, but when I stand next to them, look at the selfies on social medias. But yeah, you guys are fuck off tall. Well, while we talk about Funko Pops and digressing and interjecting, check it out, Altered State. There's a Franz the Planet Funko Pop. You can get your very own personalized one from alteredstate.co.za. Sorry, carry on with your man dresses.
No, and then
Being so long, tall.
They were just stoked that we were all the same length. So from a cinematography point of view, they were just like, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be easy, all the same length. You don't have to play tricks, putting the, forward or backward. And yeah, rest is history.
And on that note, for the people with goldfish attention spans, we're going to start wrapping it up right now. I'm going to give you each, or as a collective, the opportunity to say thank you or plug someone, shout outs, whatever. Take a couple of seconds. Go for it, man. And then we'll start wrapping it up.
I'll just thank my bandmates for all their hard work.
Because they are a band.
And also Warren from Mongrel. He's been helping us a lot since day one. Also Johnny for that share that got us on Warren's radar. Big up. Yeah, he's been a big supporter. What a trooper. And you, Franz, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your support and your sharing on social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Rudolph's pretty much said it all. But we've also got a huge fan base overseas, and it's been crazy for us to think about that. But yeah, they're the ones who kind of keeping this dream alive. So I think that's number one, actually.
Fantastic.
I think that's quite a generous, huge, but yeah, thank you. I think these guys basically hit the mark. I would just like to add my wife. She really puts up with. She's probably heard every song on Weird Sister by the note. It's repeated. She's heard it a gazillion times, and she still comes to the shows, and she severely supports my efforts in trying to make it in this industry. So I want to thank her, and I love her more than you can imagine. And also my parents have also been very supportive right throughout my life. I didn't make this work sooner. I think I'd be more thankful if they didn't let me become an accountant. But also they've been very supportive, and I appreciate that. And also to her family who allowed us to make noise and shoot Red Dawn. underneath their house pretty much over a whole weekend, because Omar lives there and the aunt and uncle and everyone. So thank you all for that too. That's very important.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to air, but I just want to plug that show that we're playing at the 26th of Feb at Railways with Rough Magic and Caution Boy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Caution Boy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Our friends or colleagues, they're flipping awesome, man. Yeah. And all the bands in our little scene, man. There's so many good things going on. I have to say Rough Magic because I'm in there as well. Are they good? Caution Boy. Tasers. Painted Flowers. There's like so much good shit. The Chance. Jungle of Mischief. Oh, damn, we know. Yeah. There's many more. We just maybe put some link in bio stuff in there. I'm not sure how
If you send it to
Instagram
me,
works.
I'll put it in there.
But yeah, stuff is healthy at the moment, dude. Like, I'm really optimistic. Every time I go to an Irish club show or stuff at Railways is happening, like, yeah, and all over the place. Like, things are looking good, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think most of all, the greatest plug on a platform like this is go and support all those bands, go and support those venues. We've got incredible bands in this country, international quality stuff. We shouldn't even be using that term, international quality. We are all of the same quality. Go and support the dudes. We need it now more than ever.
Yeah. I just forgot clubs and makeovers because we're playing with them tonight. So let's put them in there.
Yeah, so Bar tonight being the 5th of February. Then we got another show coming up on the 26th of Feb. That's the one you said. Then the 8th of April, Jar Bar with All Hands.
Ooh, nice.
And then 28th of May. 28th of May, I think that's at Sanyaj, eh? With Rough Magic and Facing the Gallows. So yeah, that's what we got so far. Let's see where it goes.
That's freaking awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And while you've got the microphone, Keenan, where do people find your merchandise, online presence, those kind of things, other than Facebook, Instagram, the normal ones?
We were so stoked on talking about playing vocals and stuff and plugging Caution Boy. I nearly forgot about that. So currently, follow us on our... So we have vinyl. We've ordered our vinyl. It's paid for. This isn't like a pre-order. It's in production. It's just going to take until August about to ship. That's available on our Bandcamp page. It's acidmagus.bandcamp.com. However, for the SA peeps, if there's anyone that's really keen to buy a vinyl, yeah, we've already got you pinned. But especially from the SA guys, we are going to bring a couple in at the death ourselves to take away that shipping cost. So just get in touch with us on our DMs, either on Instagram. Can't believe I said DMs. I think that's the first time I've ever said that. Oh my, that's so work. So then, just let us know, because we'll keep some aside so that you can purchase it straight from us and eliminate the shipping. If you're in Gauteng, you can pick it up from us or get it at a show. If you prefer, then maybe we do a postnet to postnet or something. Just keep it real. Further to that, though, we are busy finalizing our website, and we will have an online store there with merch. It's not live yet, but once again, just stay posted to... We share... Rudolph is crazy on social media. Share stuff all the time. He's almost as bad as Johnny. But no one's that good. No one's as good as Johnny, though.
Pit Viper!
Yeah, Pit Viper King. So just keep an eye out on our Instagram, Facebook. That's Acid Magus. Just one word, with the Instagram or Facebook in front of it. Stay there. We'll announce it there if you're keen to buy some shirts and things like that. We'll have it up.
Fantastic, guys. You've been great. It's been an absolute honor having you on the couch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Keep it heavy, and remember, let metal shape you. Good night.
Got me